This game is so disappointing. And the only thing that's been even more disappointing than this is probably Duet Night Abyss, at least in recent history. I haven't played Arknights in a while, and honestly, I should have just stayed off of this garbage. But I'll tell you what, I played DNA way more than I played this game, because at least that game wasn't even a chore to play. And DNA is pretty trash, to say the least. I'm sorry, it sucks. But at least that game has developers that are thankful that you take time out of your day to get on their game, maybe put some money into it. I would rather drop $1,000 on Duet Night Abyss than dropping $5 on Arknights, and I'm not even trolling. These developers literally do not deserve a single dollar from you. This game, Arknights, feels like a job more than any other gacha game. I used to think that Hoyo games were the most inconvenient pieces of garbage that you could possibly play, and playing Arknights Endfield, even after taking like a 2-week break from the game, it has changed my mind. I should not be clowning on Hoyo as much as I do and that dev team. This dev team right here at Hyper Go Fuck Yourself, or whatever it's called, should get all of my hatred, because this game is pathetic. And by the way, the end game is trash. So what are you working towards? What are you putting all of your time into? Why are you spending so much time on a game to get into an end game that is extremely undercooked? No, not even undercooked. They just don't care. They don't care about this end game. It's not going to get better, by the way. You could sit there for 10 minutes and basically not do anything, just play defense, and you could clear this dog shit ass mode. So I don't understand why you would even spend a bunch of time on this game, because what are you going to do with all of that time that you took off work to put into this game? What are you going to do with that? Are you going to tell your boss that, hey, look, I'm going to call off work for the next week, so I can just waste all of my fucking time on a game that the devs don't even care about? They could literally copy any other gacha endgame and there would be no complaints, because at least it would be better than what they have right now. But things like this are pushed by an even bigger problem with this game, and that is the loud minority in this community. I'm not kidding. I think that the loud minority in this community is more toxic positive than the ZZZ community. And by the way, the ZZZ community is the same people where they will literally tell you to delete yourself in Roblox if you have any sort of criticism whatsoever for the game, and you aren't one of the golden boy creators that they have for this game. But even they get attacked for criticism sometimes. And even now that I even mentioned ZZZ, I'm sure somebody is going to also tell me to delete myself just because I brought it up. But honestly, recently, I think that the toxic positive Endfield community might be even worse than that. They already mastered the art of dislike bombing videos that have any sort of criticism for the game, and they literally won't listen to a single thing that you're saying if it's even somewhat slightly negative. But I think that ZZZ players are more likely to tell you to jump off a cliff still. So yeah, because of this very toxic part of the community, it's hard for new players to come in and then feel welcomed, because they see all of these really hardcore players being so standoffish if you don't think that the game is the greatest thing ever created. And this is the perfect type of game to create hardcore players like that, because once again, you have to play it like a job. You have no choice. If you are free to play and you're not a millionaire, you have to sit on this game all day. So this game is all you're thinking about all day. You go to sleep, you dream about the game, you wake up, you play it while you're eating. Then once you're finally done with your dailies, you sit there and optimize your factory all day to do nothing in 40 days when you finally have one of your teams maxed out. Well, it's the CC's fault that communities are like this. For sure, bro. For sure. For sure, man. Sometimes the only reason why it takes me a while to make a video is because sometimes I just imagine myself talking into a void, because that is quite literally what I'm doing. Because so many people hate watch my videos, even though I could be saying something completely valid. They literally just don't care, because they attach their entire identity to video games. Like, hey, the gacha system and the pull economy are horrible, and the end game sucks. Oh well, I don't like you, and you're a grifter. You're just a grifter. That's why you're criticizing the game. You're a grifter. Well, okay, I guess. Like I said earlier, if this game came out before Genshin Impact, it would most likely be successful. But we are in an era of gacha now where people don't want to play a game that you have to put more effort into than your job. Do we realize that this company Hypergriff is stingier than Hoyoverse? Whenever they pull off any of their constant blunders that they make because they don't put any effort into the game, they basically give you zero compensation for whatever they do, especially compensation on the level of what we deserve. They might as well just send us a paperclip to shove up our ass whenever they make mistakes, because the most pulls they'll give us as compensation is like what, 2 max? And then I'm sure even that hurts them physically to do, because they make sure that every single pull is as hard as possible to get. And remember, the pulls are as hard as possible to get in a game where they incentivize you to pull on every single banner. But it sucks to pull on every single banner because there's no pity carryover, and you have to pull deep into these banners. You don't want an early. Remember, you don't even want an early. You have to pull deep into these banners to get the character's weapon, which of course they really need, of course. So I can sit here and ramble on all day how Arknights is never going to get better, primarily due to Glazers, but it will never matter because there is always going to be an audience that encourages shitty monetization in a game where their virtual wife resides. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, Last Right looks amazing. That's like my favorite looking character in the game. She looks good. But just because these girls in a video game look really good, I'm not gonna sit here and glaze the grown-ass men who are gouging every single bit of time that they can out of you just to get an extra dollar. Where yes, I do understand that the idea of a business is to make money, but there's so many better ways to monetize a game and actually keep some of that player base that you hardcore advertised to. Like, why waste all that money on advertisement when you're not going to put any effort into the actual game to keep some of those players that you advertise to? Advertise the cosmetics. I'll say it as many times as I can. Advertise the cosmetics. Give the waifus good bathing suits and monetize it. You don't have to make the worst gacha system I've ever seen in my entire life. And look, some of you might not like the fact that I'm saying this, but it seems like nobody really cares about Arknights anymore anyway. The views, at least on the YouTube side of things, are way down, and you can look at the quality of the game for proof of that. And the interest in overall gacha has been down the past couple months overall. So it seems like if you were thinking about making videos on gacha games right now, then this would probably be the worst time, because there has been so much bad publicity surrounding gacha for a while now. And games like Endfield don't make that any better. If you're thinking about making content on social media, you might have a better time trying to make videos for OnlyFans. And no, do not ask me to make an account. You would be surprised how many people have already asked me to do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay. But I will drop the link in the description. No, anyways, thank you so much for watching this far. If you have, you look cute today. Peace.